Today's episode of Wiki Sift is brought to you by Naked Hitler Pizza and Wings. Now under new management, we did not pick the name, but now it would be too expensive to rebrand. We are very sorry.
Right now, I'm trying to figure out what other abominations exist. Oh, no. I forgot I haven't spun this up. There's a Napoleon Dynamite game.
Oh, boy. What kind of game?
I don't know. I have yet to start the ISO image because I don't know if I want to break the illusions in my head. Like, until it's Schrodinger's game concept. The concept for Napoleon Dynamite doesn't fully materialize until you've started playing it. I like the fact that all options are open. I would bank on it being a WarioWare-esque style of like mini games.
Okay, that could be good. I mean, I'm being extremely optimistic there, but it's like that's a possible thing that you could do, and it could be good.
Okay, in the PlayStation portable version of Napoleon Dynamite, there are 30 mini games, while the DS version has 25. I would assume that I was correct. Oh, no. Hi, I'm Stevo, and I'm taking over the stream tonight in order to play Napoleon Dynamite on the PSP.
Fuck you, you're not. I have waited a long time. I have gone down this rabbit hole 4 times to get ready for this, and oh my god, am I ready to take you numbskulls through it.
I've never been so thrilled to be called a numbskull.
You both are nitwits and numbskulls. You are along the ride that I have provided for you. A primrose path.
I'm not a numbskull yet. I'm just now starting to play Napoleon Dynamite. Give me about 15 minutes.
Okay. So, Tom, you can do, I guess you probably have an intro for this that I can't fathom because I have currently the mental capacity.
Because I've interrupted it every goddamn time. It wouldn't be the same.
Let it begin. Let it begin. Let it begin. Let it begin.
All right, it begins.
All right.
Welcome to Wiki Sift.
Now,
Stevo, for the love of...
You didn't even give him a second, you animal.
How can I control when somebody sends me a Carl from Aqua Teen meme in the Star Trek universe? I want to see Captain Picard be a thing now. Hey you, Replicator. I want a pitcher of Romulan ale, fried Hasperat, the Nachos Grande, and let's start with 50 Poraka wings extra hot and keep the Yamak sauce coming.
The amazing thing is I'm like 99.9% sure that you are not doing this on purpose. You just happen to accidentally interrupt me at the exact same point every single time.
He's very excited.
And it's amazing. I don't know. Okay, welcome to Wiki Sift, a shallow dive into pop culture and fandom. Today we're going to be talking about Kirby.
Oh boy!
What fresh fuckery we shall be on this merry adventure, my friends, Tom and Stevo.
I've already been inspired to break out MS Paint. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Here we go.
So Tom, you wanted me to lead on this, right?
Yeah, let's introduce ourselves real quick. I'm Tom, he's an evil genius white, and today I'm joined by...
I'm Big Mike from D20 Live.
Oh, is that my cue?
Jesus
I'm Stevo.
Christ, man!
How many times do we need to say?
I'm Stevo, and I'm here specifically to interrupt Tom at the beginning of every episode and nothing more. I'm also from Friday Night Fanfiction, and I do streams with Tom sometimes. And I don't know. I'm a Leo. I guess that counts. Also, Val, that was beautiful. I think I got caught on the mic. Do you want to go upstairs now, honey?
So, Wiki Sift is a willfully ignorant fandom podcast where we don't actually directly consume media and just read about what fans wrote about it online, because I could watch all 47 seasons of Saturday Night Live, but I'd rather just look up how many times John Belushi played a samurai. 16.
This is the first time I'm gonna. Is that true?
Yes.
I don't question when Tom looks up a fact fucking ever in my life. In the 10 years I've known this man, I don't bet against
these
it.
sound like the shoe-in Guinness categories, the ones that nobody else will ever possibly conceive to do. So I'm not sure if he's making up the answer or not.
I am weirdly diligent with my fact-checking over stupid, mundane things.
I do a lot of work for this not work show.
But today specifically, we're going to be talking about Kirby. Big Mike is the one who took the initiative to dig through Kirby lore, so I'm going to let him take the lead here. I'm pretty sure not one of us are experts in Kirby by any means. I played like the first one on Game Boy. I probably beat it, maybe I didn't. And I played a little bit of other games. That's it.
I would consider myself more than just a casual fan. I played both Kirby's on the Game Boy, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Star Stacker, what the hell is it? Kirby's Avalanche, Kirby's Dream
That
Course,
doesn't
Kirby
count.
64.
That's just Puyo Puyo.
Shut up.
It is.
Oh, it's just Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. I see what you're doing here, Tom.
It's the game. They just rebranded. They didn't change anything.
Kirby 64, Kirby Canvas Curse. Yeah, I'd say I played everything all the way up through the 3DS stuff.
Do we have to cancel this episode because you actually know Kirby?
Maybe not. It depends on what he remembers from the games, because there's a lot of... Here's the thing about Kirby. There's that fucking thin veneer of it's a wholesome kids game, and then you break it and you start asking questions about what the hell is going on. And then the game devs reply, we have an answer. So here's the thing.
Okay.
What do you two respectively think is the plot of a Kirby game? If you had to guess a random fucking plot, right?
Usually stuff involving like the Star Rod and Star Road and Star Dude. I know for a fact he tends to help out celestial entities and eat a lot of enemies and copy their abilities. There are definitely some weird offshoot games like Canvas Curse where he's turned into a no arms, no legs thing and just rolls around. So
from the Kirby games I've played, I would say there's not really it doesn't really state what Kirby's motivation is. It's just okay, I'm here to save the day. Let's go.
Right.
So
now, what if I told you that 90% of Kirby's games end in him fighting an elder god?
Excuse me?
I do know that's the case because in Kirby's Adventure, I swear he fucking fought Dracula.
That was a Nightmare. We'll get to Nightmare, but there's a couple things I want to lead into before we come to this, okay? Because we're going to go to the wiki, because here's the thing. If you don't know what you're looking for on the wiki, this would take you guys a lot of fucking time to get to the good stuff. I did the work. I asked the best person, hi Cassie, where to look. You knew who it was. I knew who it was.
It didn't even occur to me, but then you said it and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
The only reason she's not here is because she would have been talking about the lore itself, not the wiki, which you have to go through the wiki because you'll click a button in the wiki and it'll be like, it'll start with Kirby lost his cake today. Oh no, why did Kirby lose his cake? And then it ends in Kirby has reunited 3 elements of the stars to make a hammer to fight an eldritch abomination. Sealed in a chest for 10,000 years. We will always go there.
I know 02. Fuck that fucking
We'll
bad
get
guy.
to him.
Yes.
We will get to him. Now here's the question, Stevo. Do you know about the butterfly?
Nobody
it's
suspects
definitely
the
tickling
butterfly.
a familiarity thing, but considering the amount of sleep I'm running on, it's not hitting home.
Tom?
I don't have the slightest idea.
All right. So to understand, okay, Tom, you said no one suspects the butterfly. That is literally a worthy reaction for the Kirby fandom. For a 20-year sleeper supervillain in the franchise.
Okay.
And it's the butterfly. And I can't explain it until we get to it. Because we
Okay, I
have
don't
to
know if
start
you
at
could
the
call it a sleeper supervillain when it's something that they tossed around most likely as a joke and somebody took it seriously.
No, because here's the thing. I went down this rabbit hole. I went down this rabbit hole. Where do you guys want to start?
Tom, I'm worried about Mike.
Okay, yes. You're teasing us with a lot of stuff. Give us something juicy.
Okay, cool. Okay, we will start with Kirby's Dreamland, which only gives us a hint about where we're gonna fucking go. This is the literal first game. Kirby doesn't even have the copy ability. So when you scroll down to the store, you would think there's nothing here, right? Because it says, on a tiny star somewhere far, far away from Earth. Yeah. There's a very special place known as Dreamland. Dreamlanders are very happy people who use their magical, sparkling stars to play and work among the heavens. Then on one dark night, the gluttonous King DDD and his Ron Benefi, King DDD, steals all the food,
Okay,
right?
Slow down.
Boy.
We're good.
So you're starting off with, okay, this is just, what's a sparkling star? I don't know. It's the MacGuffin. What's the mushroom? Why does the mushroom, right? No. If you click on the wiki page for Sparkling Stars, they have multiple game appearances and they do stuff canonically. Like because these were taken away, King DDD stopped his people from having a bolstering economy.
Okay, now this is starting to sound like a Stargate SG-1 episode.
Yeah, and cannot gather food.
Okay.
Like legitimately, that is the introduction to this item in the wiki, and that's canon. They didn't throw that away and it was like, as a MacGuffin, we made it. No, they kept it up.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm following.
That's just the first game. Now we're gonna get to the one you were talking about, Stevo, Kirby's Adventure. We're gonna talk about the intro, and then we're gonna talk about what it actually happens. Okay? All right.
Okay.
All right. So,
I know the intro for Kirby's Adventure is them teaching you how to draw Kirby, and I still can't do that because I suck.
yeah. So does Kirby if you go to the pause menu in that game. He tries to draw himself and it doesn't work. So the concept of Kirby's Adventure is there's something called the Star Rod, as Stevo mentioned earlier, where if it's inside the dream spring, all the residents of Dreamland can go to sleep and have dreams. If it's taken out, they don't have those anymore. They just don't sleep. So
that's very Neil Gaiman.
I know, and it gets better. And this is now in 2 games where their livelihood has been boxed by magical artifacts that their entire civilization falls apart if they're displaced.
This is why you need to teach people survival skills.
I am so lost.
They don't have survival skills. They have Kirby. Okay. All right. So Kirby rolls up, right, to the Dream Fountain, right? And this is where it says, upon reaching the Dream Spring, what did he find but, again, King DDD bathing in the waters. And he had caught, being a thirsty boy as always. He had caused mischief in the past by stealing all the food and sparkling stars. Now in the middle of the spring, in place of the Star Rod, he's just there in bubble bath. In the fountain
now that I think about it, DDD do have some DSLs.
He does. And he says, like, what are you doing? To which he says, what are you talking about, you pudge ball? I thought I did everyone a favor. No. I won't listen to your tricks. What have you done with the Star Rod? Oh, that old thing. I broke it into 7 pieces and gave each piece to one of my friends.
How cute. At least he shares.
He shares, right? And it's like, why? Why would you do that? What possible reason could DDD have?
He's striking back against the bourgeoisie. He's fighting on behalf of the proletariat. He's destroying their symbols of success and prosperity.
Yeah. Except this is why he did it. A being called Nightmare.
Oh, yeah, there's that vampire bearded guy.
Yeah. So,
what you want to keep?
Wait a... What the...
Something you're doing?
Have I broken you, Tom?
His name in the English dub of the anime is Enime.
NME. Yeah, that's in the anime. It's less canon.
Mana.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry. What kind of really like got me was like for some reason I was like, okay, so he fights a lot of like cosmic deities, but then I was like, oh yeah, DDD, his recurring villain, he fights eldritch deities on a daily basis, but his recurring villain is just a penguin with a hammer.
Yeah. And the best part is half the time is because DDD got possessed.
That does happen a lot.
Yeah. Tom, we'll get to DDD's page, and you can count the number of times DDD has been possessed by a malevolent force of darkness.
Oh no, Napoleon Dynamite on PSP has multiplayer. Do you guys want to play with me?
Stevo, I think we'll do this after class.
Yeah, we'll do it after class. But yeah, the explanation, if you scroll down to game appearances, for why DDD actually broke the Star Rod is because an eldritch nightmare horror showed up in the Fountain of Dreams, and DDD said, okay, I'm gonna break all these pieces so you can't get them.
Sorry, I was trying to stealthily describe to my wife where the lifesaver gummies were. What were you saying?
I tried to upsell you how silly this gets. I will take you to the butterfly page right now. I will show you the Frost Star, and I will show Tom the bloody eyeball.
I'm getting double detention for looking up PSP game stuff and also trying to give my wife sugar.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time kind of grasping a lot of this right now. So, okay, so on multiple occasions, the Star Rod is broken into exactly 7 pieces?
No, it's broken exactly one time, but there's always a different new weird magical relic. And they're all important.
Okay, so the premise is Kirby is a dude from the Land of Dreams where they have a whole bunch of ancient artifacts that their civilization relies on, which conveniently get kidnapped or destroyed or both by bad guys. Is that what
frequently?
Frequently.
Very frequently, up until Sakurai stopped making the games.
Would you say like once a week, 37 weeks out of a calendar year, maybe Saturdays at 8 a.m.?
Yeah. Pretty confidently, yeah. Pretty often, and DDD will get possessed.
So where do the bad guys normally come from? Are they like from the Land of Dreams?
Do you guys want to skip to the end on this, on where they come from?
Oh, is that the end?
Oh, that's the end.
Basically, what you're saying is the entire universe is constantly in shambles.
Yep.
And it's all because this one dream group can't be bothered to pay for fucking security.
Well, because here's the thing. The planet they're all on, Popstar, right? Which is literally in the physical shape of the star, of a star itself,
right.
like a 5-pointed star. Is a very peaceful place, but it's also the happiest place in the universe, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's not Disneyland.
No, it's actually scientifically the happiest place in the universe. I'm not kidding.
I like how you're using the word scientifically in the same sentence as a star that is actually shaped like a star shape in the middle of space.
Really? Mike's entire diatribe sounds a lot more convincingly delivered if you imagine him as Charlie Day in front of the board, putting all the pins in.
That's kind of how it goes down, yeah. And there's an explanation for that. And because of that, it's basically like a magnetic force. So evil keeps coming to this planet because they're attracted like poles on a magnet.
Oh, they've got evil boners.
Basically, yeah. So because Popstar is such a nice place, all this evil eventually shows up there because it ends up conquering the rest of the known universe.
All right, so let's go through. Let's hop back for a second then. Since we've now established this. Let's hop back to Kirby's Dreamland, the first one.
Okay.
Bad guy in that was who and why?
That was DDD. That's because he decided he wanted to become king. Okay. And he went and did it.
Okay, so we have an attempt at turning a utopian society into a fucking monarchy.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense as to why Kirby would go apeshit. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if all this like low-key horror was intended from the very beginning, or if it's like it started out as it's just going to be a cute fun adventure, and then as the series progressed, some creative head at Nintendo started like piping up with more and more deranged ideas, and they somehow made it in.
I can speak up to this. I am 99% certain Masahiro Sakurai, right when he made Super Smash Bros., is like, Kirby is the most powerful being in the universe because I fucking say so.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. There is a specific point in Kirby games when Sakurai was no longer making them.
Uh-huh.
And a new guy took the head, and the new guy has built an MCU level canon. I am not kidding.
No, I
Okay.
believe you. You don't need to keep saying whether or not you're kidding. I'm buying every word you so maliciously say directly into my ears.
Because here's the thing. Nightmare is sort of the beginning of when this all happens, because it went from Kirby's Dream Land to Kirby's Adventure, and Nightmare pops up in that one. It's the first time we had the twist of it's not King DDD for the first, it's actually something worse. And DDD was trying to stop it.
DDD was the Manchurian candidate.
Yeah, he was. In the third game in the franchise, Kirby's Dream Land 2, he is actually the Manchurian candidate.
Oh boy.
All right, Tom, you ready to
boy.
understand dark matter?
Okay. I think I'm grasping this now.
Okay. All right. You with me so far? So we have Kirby's Dream Land and Kirby's Adventure. There is a Kirby's Dream Land 2 on the Game Boy.
You're going chronologically.
I have to because we only go higher. I could just
Oh, look at Shadow the Hedgehog at the Renaissance Fair. He's so cute.
Can I stream to you guys through this chat interface what I'm looking at, and I'll show you?
I believe you can, yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that perfectly. Oh my god, why didn't we do this sooner? I could be lazy and play something else.
Stop playing the game. We didn't play.
I want to play Napoleon Dynamite.
Stop this lifestyle. It only poisons you. So Tom, this is Kirby's Dream Land 2. Most notable for, and here's the thing, Kirby has weird little innovations as it goes along too. Like Kirby writing friends now. And also he has his copy because
we do not frown on casual sex here.
I think the whole copying ability thing was such a leap ahead for the second game. So.
It was. And it does keep going up further. But yeah, if we go back to here, this is dark matter. So here's what happened.
Dark matter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Referred to as in the bad ending.
It's the name of the character. I was thinking they literally have dark matter in the game.
Yes, they do actually.
Oh boy.
And it has sentience. I will explain.
I dread when he just stops saying that, because then he won't explain. He will just expect us to know.
I will get you to the butterfly. Okay. So in the sequel and in the third game, technically, dark matter shows up, possesses King DDD, and and finds something called the Rainbow Bridges and breaks them. Right?
Okay.
Great, now he's ruining all our public works projects.
Exactly. This is what it looks like when you beat King DDD.
That monster.
And that's what comes out of him.
Oh, that's very eversion looking.
Right? So by the third game, like this eldritch horror twist starts building up. And if you collect all of the you have to collect like all the rainbow pieces. Kirby turns it into a sword, fights King DDD while he's possessed. And this thing comes out to fight you, and that's dark matter in its blade form. If you defeat that, it turns into this eyeball-looking fucking thing.
Yep.
And
is it the eyeball from the first game? The one that's the cloud, or?
No, somehow they're not connected, but they might be.
Completely different. What one round eyeball is the same as the other, right?
Well, I'll get to that. They may all be connected to something, and it may in fact be Kirby.
I'm gonna need to message Big Mike's wife to ask if he's okay. He doesn't sound it to me.
You can tell them.
He's gone really far on this.
When I go down a rabbit hole, it's a spider climb, and it's magic. So Kirby defeats dark matter, right?
Yeah.
This causes the apocalypse.
Oh boy.
On Popstar. So it's not a very.
Oh yeah, that is Kirby's Dream Land 3.
Yeah, that's Kirby's Dream Land 3.
That now.
The Super NES title. a legitimate dark matter the size of a planet shows up on Popstar and covers it in eternal darkness, Kirby has to fight it.
I've seen a hentai that starts this way. I'm not going to tell you which one, but
because we all know the name.
I think at this point there's a hentai that starts in every conceivable way. It's
Except for the lemon tree. That's American. You can't see it, but I made a salute. So it turns out that by destroying one aspect of this thing called dark matter, he has summoned the eldritch god known as Zero, which can create. This shows up in Kirby's Dream Land 3. This is the Super NES title, the fourth fucking game. Okay? This thing summons other dark matter. Now, here's where it gets fucked up, Tom, and I think you'll appreciate this if we scroll all the way down here. While fighting it, it rips its own eyeball out of its body, squirts blood, and that has been canonically called blood. Yeah!
Finish the sentence, please.
Sorry, I'm getting lost in the background that was ripped straight from the Yellow Submarine movie.
Yeah, so the eyeball rips itself out of its own body to try and kill Kirby.
So wait, the eyeball is not the eyeball. There's an eyeball within the eyeball.
Yes.
There's like two there's two eyeballs.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And it bleeds.
We're getting somewhere now.
Yeah. It bleeds. There is a canon about the characters that bleed.
Okay.
This is one of them. But yeah, it rips its own eyeball out to try and kill Kirby because he's injured it too much, and that prompts its second phase. Kirby defeats it, obviously, because good triumphs over evil, and that brings peace to planet Popstar. Right?
Okay.
Except it comes back as, and let me find it.
Yeah, this is the one that a lot of people first had experience with. Dreamland 3 didn't sell very well, and Dreamland 2 came very late in the Game Boy's life, so, like, in comparison to the, was it Game Boy Color that was coming out?
I give you 0-2.
Fucking crying angel, bleeding eye.
Yep. So the torso, it's believed, it has not been canonically confirmed, survived, and you can see the Band-Aid from where the eyeball ripped out right there.
Oh, jeez.
Also, you don't get to this boss unless you, like, 100% the game.
Yeah. Otherwise, you counts as a failure.
Yeah. Which is what a fucking message to kids. If you don't get it perfect, don't bother.
It's also a Kirby game. They're not that hard to get perfect. Like, you can always go back and replay levels, though.
This is true.
Also, it has a cactus ass, and I don't know why. Also, fun fact, gameplay innovation for this game, you can actually mix and match powers to make new ones.
Yeah, and it never made a comeback, I don't think.
People have preferences. So that is 0-2 with its false face.
Okay.
And that's it in its true seraph form. Because it's dead now. Because Kirby killed it.
So this is a battle over heaven.
Yeah. And it has a Band-Aid from where it ripped its own eye out to kill him. That is the Dark Matter trilogy, as it's affectionately called by fans.
That eye is horrifying.
Yes, it is.
It
like, comes back.
Okay. So it's an eyeball sort of thing. There's an eye within the eye that's like blood red, and it's dripping red.
Mm-hmm.
That's the concept art. It doesn't drip in the game, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does. It bleeds.
Does it?
0-2 bleeds.
Wow.
Okay.
And what's on the side of it there? It looks like a bunch of ventricles from a heart that are all bleeding.
It's supposed to be like a wing.
Yeah, they're horrifying wings.
Ooh.
They're like the Final Fantasy VII Genova-style body mods. It's pretty wild.
This is like someone's fan mod of Kirby, except it's canon.
Yeah, and real.
Yep.
This is still Sakurai, by the way.
Yep. I don't
yeah.
envy him having to double fist making this Kirby 64 and Smash Bros. 64.
God.
Oh, his fingers must be so crippled from typing so much.
This is a picture of all of the bad guys that Kirby has fought over the years.
Okay.
Just good fun.
Including like every boss.
No, these are all the final bosses.
Yep, I
Oh,
see
wow.
Marks. I see the friggin'
I see Master Hand.
Where? Astragon's not
Oh
here.
no,
that's just
there's
the
two
hand of the
hands
clown guy.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Sakurai stopped developing games for this around the time of the DS era, specifically with Superstar Ultra. And a new guy took over. His name is Shinya Kumazaki. Shinya said, holy shit, I used to think these games were really childish. And then I saw the twist at the end of the first NES game, right? So he's like, okay, but what if we went further? That's when the cults start.
Cults?
Yes.
Oh, no.
We have two. One that is a Fortune 500 interstellar company, and one that is basically in the Avengers Endgame of the franchise. Which would you like to go over first?
Okay, start with the Fortune 500 company.
Righto, sir. Onward we go. Let's go to President Haltmann.
Because I'm both really intrigued by that, and I also feel like the second one is going to be even more dramatic. So we'll have like a sense of progression.
So first on our list of cults is the one in Kirby Planet Robobot, where Kirby got a giant robot.
Yes, this is beyond my experience now.
So what happened? Well, the Haltmann Works Company and its robotic army invaded Planet Popstar, as you do.
Mm-hmm.
This is led by President Haltmann, this chapo right here, right? Fairly cartoonish, good fun. This is his backstory. Before the events of Kirby Planet Robobot, President Haltmann traveled through the cosmos with his daughter Susie and discovered the blueprints for the Star Dream, a powerful risk-granting supercomputer, as well as the Star Dream itself. By using these blueprints and analyzing the most advanced civilizations in the known universe, he was at least able to partially reactivate it. However, his daughter got warped to a parallel dimension. He believes she died and has become a man possessed, trying to bring her back to life by making robot copies.
All right, hold on. I didn't realize we were slipping into Star Trek novel territory here.
Mm-hmm.
Because that literally sounds like something from a previous episode we did.
No, I think what Big Mike said earlier about this being the MCU is becoming more and more like accurate.
Just wait.
This is complicated.
Yeah, right? I love it. And I can keep, now, that's just Haltmann, right? Other people keep finding eldritch and superhuman powers.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but what is President Haltmann specifically?
That's a good question.
Okay, so looking at the image of him,
he's a naked man.
He looks fairly humanoid, although he's like completely encased in a robot shell, kind of like a Dalek.
Yeah.
With two disembodied robot arms and a disembodied gem, like from a crown, but upside down. And he just kind of hovers like that, it looks like.
Yeah.
Honey, it's okay. Everybody has nightmares. Just go back to bed.
It's actually a reference to another part of Kirby where there was a magic crown that gave you infinite power.
God, his full name is Max Prophet Haltmann.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Max Prophet.
This is how far the lore goes. Okay. Follow me on this one. Okay. Star Dream, the robot he made, right? That's this Star Dream.
Which looks like something out of Zone of the Enders.
I'm sorry, but if you name your child Max and you make their middle name Prophet, you are predestining them to be a supervillain. Like,
he's the man whose gains you'd love to touch.
So,
but don't get crushed.
It turns out inside of it is actually this supercomputer called the Star Dream that looks like this.
That's a Pokemon.
Hang on. Stevo, you played the Super NES one, Superstar, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that look familiar? Like anything you know?
I always forget that it looks more like a mustache.
Is that like a clock? What is that? Okay, it's a circle. It's like a disc with eyes.
Yeah, Tom, apparently in this franchise...
Yeah. It's like the dream clock.
There are these basically dream clocks that exist in the galaxy, and they're like Shenron from Dragon Ball. They grant your wishes.
Wait, its name is Halberd? This is the least Halberd-looking thing I've ever seen.
No, the Halberd's the name of the ship.
Okay.
The Halberd's the ship right in front. That's Mennonite's ship.
Yeah, that's why you have a power meter, because you're controlling it and you don't want it to go boom.
Yeah.
Okay, strike my comment from the record.
It's all right. It's stricken. Now,
Ow, no, you hit me instead.
do you want... Okay, so you guys want to know about the other cult? Or should we talk about the ancient warrior that is trapped at the end of time?
Look, you can't tease somebody with talking about a cult and not talk about it.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about the cult.
Okay, so what if I told you this had an Avengers Endgame style game?
Okay, just tell us.
All right.
You don't need to keep the sales pitch going 45 minutes into the pilot episode.
Have you ever
All
watched Dragon's Den or Shark Tank? There's a point where you just stop selling. Stop selling. Just tell us.
Never! So Kirby Star Allies had a gimmick where you could get multiplayer going by conscripting enemies to join you. Kirby would create heart energy and they would join his side. That's not a gimmick. That's part of the plot. Because there is a cult on the run.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hyness, head of the cult.
Okay. Looks like Orko with a with a cult robe.
Yeah.
I really hope doesn't have the same voice. I hate Orko.
Before the events, he was originally traveling to various places. He saved 3 mage sisters who were on the brink of death and became obsessed with finding something called the Jamba Heart. That's this thing.
Isn't that a fucking drink?
Having defeated his nemesis Orange Julius.
And now we have a screenshot from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that's the Jamba Heart. That is a prison.
What? Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, that's important. This is the reason this is an important game.
Okay, so this is like a heart-shaped hunk of rock encased in a marble.
Yeah. So he went crazy trying to get into this thing because he thought it would give him absolute power. This is the shit he says. He has these long, insane speeches.
Whoa.
In the game, when you reach him, happy birthday, Dark Lord, happy birthday. He's trying to, because it's a prison for an ancient, powerful evil.
Okay.
Right?
I kind of regret not playing more of Star Allies. I got started and got distracted. Wow.
So you got to get to the end, man.
Okay.
So, the thing inside the Jamba Heart is a thing called Void Termina. This is incredibly important. I can't explain other way. Okay, this is Void Termina. This is what's imprisoned inside of it. Okay?
Okay.
Now, once you beat up Void Termina, once you defeat it, you go inside Void Termina and fight its soul. This is what its soul looks like.
Jeez. It looks like everything in Mario. Like like every background creature that
It looks like a cosmic bowling ball.
Kirby.
Yeah, it
Guys,
does look like Kirby.
It's Kirby.
It's like a marble with eyes.
Yeah, it's Kirby. The implication is that this thing, because it has multiple forms, the soul, you remember the dark matter that we dealt with earlier? We were talking about earlier?
Mm-hmm.
The implication is Void is the origin of not only dark matter and most of the bad guys because they all have an orb form, but also Kirby himself.
Okay.
So, I mean, Kirby is going to eat the whole known universe at some point. That it's been established by science.
He actually isn't, because, and they explain this in the game, if you defeat it, if it says here legitimately at the end, when it starts over, and once you defeat it, it will become an ally to the stars.
Wait, Void exists in all dimensions.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were the chosen one, Anakin. You were supposed to bring balance to the Force. I just want to be evil Kirby now. I want to eat the younglings.
Well, there is like a dark version of Kirby in some of the Smash games.
There's both a mirror version of Kirby. It's believed that evil Kirby is 0 and 02. Kirby
and
is
there's
the good.
also fucking didn't Meta Knight look exactly like Kirby?
Somehow Meta Knight isn't Kirby, despite looking exactly like him.
That's terrifying.
He's just an edgy boy with a sword. Canonically. Meta Knight is
Wait,
convinced
so underneath Meta Knight's armor, he looks like Kirby?
Yep,
Oh,
sure. You
yeah.
want to see it?
I've never seen him outside of his armor. Wow. Oh, that's what I'm seeing then. Like one of the alternate costumes for Kirby looks like that. It's probably a Meta Knight reference.
Mm-hmm. That's what he looks like under the armor. Somehow he is not Kirby. Meta Knight's entire obsession is he knows that the stars are full of fucking nightmares that would wipe out Planet Popstar. So he's constantly trying to get everyone to train in military fashion to fight it, right? But Kirby says, why are you being a buzz?
His heart's in the right place. His mind is not.
Yeah, but everyone keeps asking him, why are you such a fucking buzzkill? And then he's like, there's evil in the stars, guys. It'll wipe us all out. And then it shows up and Kirby beats it.
This is, you know what Kirby's lore is? It's Care Bears meets Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It gets even funnier if you think of Kirby as Saitama from One Punch Man.
I think of him more like a weird Mothman kind of thing, because Kirby, they never explain how Kirby got to Popstar. He just landed there and liked it. And he stayed. It's funny when you think about the fact that among video game characters, when Kirby hits an enemy, they die.
What?
I thought
Kirby-
that people don't die in Kirby games.
Well,
yeah,
they-
like it feels like an even more cartoony version of something like Mario. And in Mario, like when he like steps on a Goomba, they just cartoonishly like shrug and jump off the
collapse
screen.
in half. Yeah.
well, fair
You
enough.
know, like-
but when
like-
here's the thing: if a Goomba hits Mario, right, Mario takes the damage.
Yeah.
If an enemy hits Kirby, they take the damage too. That's how strong Kirby is.
He's really smart for rolling around a bunch of freaking hedgehogs. Just got a bunch of spikes coming off. Hey, if you hurt me, you're going to hurt yourself.
So, do you guys want to hear about the butterfly?
Yes.
Sure. You've been teasing
All right.
this for an hour. I need to come.
Jeez.
What?
Butterfly.
Nothing.
So for the most part, the butterflies seem harmless, right? They just show up, but they're always designed the same way. They're a floating little thing that runs around and has been there since the first game, right?
I don't really remember the butterfly in the first game. Can you remind me of where he shows up? Or
In the intro to the first stage, he's chasing Kirby.
Okay.
Right? He's chasing
That's-
Kirby, weirdly enough.
That's a random thing to turn into a
So the butterfly is constantly floating around at all times until finally in Star Allies, it absorbs this guy called Galactonite, who has shown up. He shows up in like a lot of the EX boss mode rush stuff as the strongest warrior in the universe.
the butterfly which has been innocently fluttering around just absorbs someone, and that's where the story begins.
Well, this happened in Star Allies again, and that becomes Morpho Knight.
What is
Which you can buy now at Toys R Us.
Yeah. And if you read
That's
the
a
description,
fucking character design.
Stevo, can you describe what we're looking at? Because I don't know.
it is a butterfly knight with a fire sword, and everyone fears it. Let's see here. The explanation is
It has nightmarish eyes.
it does.
It's just like glowing evil from a black void.
Let's see here. There's a fucking description of it as it's literally the bringer of death. Hang on. Okay, here we go. On this day of this is its intro. On this day of judgment, this fluttery fiend will fly into action, brought into existence by the greatest warrior of the galaxy, and reborn as a knight of doom throughout years of adversity.
Wow.
They call it the Knight of Doom. They call it the Grim Reaper. They call it the Avatar of Death every time this butterfly shows up. And just turns it and absorbs Galactica Knight and becomes the Morpho Knight.
Does Kirby have any like mundane friends? Or,
Yeah.
like,
Bandana D. Do you want to read about him?
I'm just like every single thing he happens to run into is like some kind of harbinger.
He doesn't do things in small. There's no little.
He has one normal friend by the name of Bandana D,
Uh-huh.
who is
Okay.
Do you want to go to that?
Yeah, tell me briefly. Yeah, tell me briefly about Bandana D.
Bandana Waddle Dee. The Waddle Dee is basically the Goomba of this franchise, right? Except this one got a bandana tied on his head, and he decided to try and fight Kirby in a one-on-one fight. He got his ass kicked, but everyone loved him so much he became a canon major character.
I don't know who wrote in. I never had any special affections for Banana Waddle Dee, but
Bandana, but yeah.
I'm gonna call him Banana.
So, Stevo, do you want me to show Tom the Earth Easter egg in Kirby 64?
Yes.
All right. I have it here. How are you enjoying this, Tom? I feel like I've broken you somewhere.
Just show me.
So, one of the levels in Kirby 64 is a place called Shiver Star, a planet caught in a eternal winter.
Okay.
With an eternal CGI Tom Hanks there to terrify everybody.
That's what it looks like. Does it look like a planet you might know?
Oh. Okay, yeah, the continents look very much like this is Earth.
Yeah, it's the implied that this is Earth.
Yeah, nuclear winter will get us all in the end.
Okay, so in the Kirby universe, Earth has long since become a ball of icy death.
Yep.
Pop with a lot of giant robots in it that will kill you.
So by that implication, Popstar is the brown dwarf remnants of our sun that people are able to inhabit.
Effectively,
I'm sorry, I'm just okay, all of Kirby lore, this cute game about a little pudgy fellow who floats among the clouds and the stars takes place after all of us have long since perished and forgotten about.
Consider it like this: the fourth Pokemon game, a game for children about capturing and fighting monsters that live in your pocket, dealt with the origins of space and time.
They don't fuck around in Kirby.
Jeez.
As far as we know, this is the only human character we know of. Her name is Adeline. She's just there. She's a human kid. We don't know where she comes from.
I think that's kind of scarier than all the other stuff because because the implication that one human escaped all of this and is living on thousands of years later or whatever.
Yeah, Doctor Who got it wrong. It's not like a face stretched across a bar that needs to be moisturized.
Wow.
All right, where are we going from here, Mike?
Well, I showed you some of the best stuff.
Was there some stuff that you hinted at earlier that we haven't dealt with yet?
The two cults are the biggest thing because there's all right.
Yeah.
The two big things about the extra canon is the ancient civilization, where all this magical shit comes from that Kirby finds. Right?
Oh, the Machina, the one that Waka hates so much.
Call it a spade by a different name, I guess. Because you remember how we had the cult dude?
Oh, can you go over the plot of Canvas Curse?
Sure.
And then go over the plot of Epic Yarn and tell me that Kirby does not have some pretty bad luck.
Does he? He always gets out of it.
Yeah, but it's
Actually, what I really want to know is what made you go down this rabbit hole.
Well, it's a funny story. Wooly was
your words say it's a funny story, but your tone says it's not.
Back in 2019, Wooly was talking about Kirby lore and how deep it was, and I laughed. Not in his face, because I have more respect for him than that. but I was in the back of the room going, okay, how much lore can there be? And Cassie sat me down and said, no, there's a lot. I went, sure, whatever. And then about a year ago, someone on my Discord was I was making fun of it, right? It's like, how deep is Kirby's lore? And they said, Mike, Google 0. and I found the picture of the eyeball ripping out of the eye. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And they said, you're welcome. Now, Wooly has actually done 4 videos on Kirby lore, explaining some of it and like as this huge biblical affair, but he's never gotten a fact wrong.
So Canvas Curse is pretty easy. It's just like, you know, somebody shows up, turns the world into paint. Kirby gets cursed after giving chase. And then the same shit happens again.
In Epic
where
Yarn,
Kirby gets turned into yarn. So there's this very capitalist motif going on with the bad guys in that series.
I feel like it's okay. Like they're the Paper Mario games, and there's just like no explanation. It's just a world where everything's paper, and they're like no. This game where Kirby turns into yarn.
The paper is actually the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, there's a canonical explanation for this that fits into the larger lore, and we are going to delve into it, make sure you understand.
Because like the magic paintbrush, the star rod, that sword he used on the first Dark Matter, they're all relics from the ancient civilization.
The heck?
See, if we don't give in to our creative impulses, art will die.
Yeah.
And Earth will become a frozen ball.
These are legitimately reality-altering artifacts that keep turning up. Like, I wish.
I'm starting to think that Stevo's like explanation is like an actual meta part of the canon.
So yeah,
like,
the other
that's
gag,
why they did. Like that's why they went so hard with all this Kirby lore. They're desperately trying to give us the idea that we have to embrace our art before this planet is ended.
Life is short. Eat everything.
yeah. It just keeps going.
The 8 ways Kirby to happiness.
If we lose sight of our artistic expression, that's where global warming comes along.
I'm sad you guys, Tom was so shell-shocked for the majority of this episode so far as I've taken him through this lore, because I feel really bad because I was hoping you'd react more to the shit I was showing you. But yeah, King DDD has a character arc.
Also, there is a boss. There is an amazing boss that has nothing to do with anything else in the series in Kirby Superstar. In one of the sub-games, you fight an RPG battle window that keeps spawning enemies. It is hilarious. It tells you how much damage you do. It tells you how many times you get hit. It is amazing. The boss is Computer Virus.
Yeah, it's Computer Virus.
Yep. That's awesome. I love it. That is my favorite boss of all time in any video game.
Yeah.
Oh, its name in Japan is Batoru Windozu. That's awesome. I never knew that.
Okay, so here's something that I feel like I'm not clear on. What was the deal with the bleeding? Because you said there like the blood itself was like an entity.
Select enemies bleed.
So why do only a few enemies bleed out of everything?
Well, for one thing, it's a kid's game.
Yeah, but why do certain things bleed at all? And why is there more than?
I gotta get to the trivia.
Like, why is there a classification? This is what I really want to know.
Okay, hang on. I gotta find it on the Who Bleeds thing.
You gotta increase your Thetan count. They only tell you those secrets at the high level.
These eyeballs are so disturbing.
Right? Here we go. Dark Meta Knight, Shadow DDD, and Star Dream Soul OS are the few characters of the series that bleed or shed blood-tinted tears when they fight. So Star Dream Soul, remember that robot I showed you? This is the stronger version of it for boss rush. Shadow DDD, which is the mirror world version of it.
Ugh.
Yeah, Kirby has an entire game where they go into a mirror.
I'm more disturbed by the fact that there's an alternate universe version of DD that bleeds. Like,
yeah, he's a jerk. And Dark Meta Knight, the shadow version of Meta Knight from the mirror world.
So is like the mirror world the world where people have blood?
He's focusing
Maybe.
a lot on the blood.
He really likes the
Yes,
blood.
because this is very strange.
It's a thing. I don't know. It's because okay. So another magical relic du jour was something called the Dimension Mirror, and by using it, you can access parallel dimensions, including the mirror dimension of Dreamland.
I'm very sad that my GBA copy of Kirby and the Amazing Mirror never worked properly.
Yeah, this was the lore you were missing.
I gotta say, this really personifies what this podcast is meant to be about, because it sounds like you had like very little passing knowledge in Kirby, and then you just went deep diving into the wikis, and now you're like an expert because you know everything when I ask you a question.
This has been my life, man. There's a reason I wanted to guest on this podcast.
Oh no, has he given up on D&D? Is this his life now?
No, this is what I did before I found tabletop.
Oh. Okay. So this isn't like a you looked it up last week thing.
No. Well, I looked this up earlier this year, but me doing wiki dives was a thing I was doing before I got into tabletop. And that's why I started doing all this fan stuff, because I had all this wiki knowledge.
Ah, okay.
Wow.
Well, that was a journey.
Wasn't it?
I don't even know how to end this because
You guys want to hang on? We can just literally look at bosses, final bosses in the Kirby wiki, and that's enough.
okay.
Legitimately, that's enough. Hang on, let's see here.
Yeah, because we did Nightmare and then skipped a few.
Is there any interesting lore about the eyeball cloud from the first game? Because
Marco?
I don't remember his name. That's how little of an expert I am on Kirby.
I believe that's Marco. Hang on. No, it's not Marx. Marx is the weird jester. Hang on. I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
It's Krakow, isn't it?
Krakow, thank you. Yes. Krakow and Krakow Jr.
Why am I getting Google results for Jacob Krakow?
Krakow is a reoccurring boss character. He is a cloud.
He's got that snooty, like, chip on your shoulder look, despite not having an eyebrow or shoulders.
Yeah, it's kind of works for him, doesn't it? He has legions of monsters.
Volunteers at the local PTA.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Now you go down the rabbit hole. You're asking, well, what does the eyeball mean, right? Because now you've seen the eyeball come up wherever it does. And then you realize that there's the Waddle Dees that are called Waddle Doos, which are Waddle Dees with eyebrows that shoot lightning. And what does that mean? And we don't know.
With eyebrows.
Sorry, eyeballs. Sorry, they have an eyeball.
Yeah, it's like one single eye in the middle of its face and like no other features.
Yeah, like dark matter. And it's as opposed to the Waddle Dee, which is just a normal guy, right?
Yeah.
Waddle
Just a
Doos
guy.
can shoot beams of light. What does it mean? We don't know. That's how deep this rabbit hole goes. And that's when we start going into that scene of Pepe Silva. Because are Waddle Dees just possessed by parts of dark matter that have attacked Dreamland? Maybe.
Is this the end of an H.P. Lovecraft story? Are you telling us this from an insane asylum? Is this you writing on the walls? Eyes everywhere. What does it mean? Why do only some people bleed?
It do be like,
Well, like I'm like imagining him like in an institution here, like with like the straitjacket on, giggling, and the people locking him up are just giant eyeballs.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
and,
onto you
and
now.
he says, if you think Zero is terrifying, wait until you see Zero too. It's just like, what is wrong with that guy? He doesn't speak in anything normal.
But yeah, that's the Kirby lore. It's just, you don't know, right? And then sometimes they'll bring this stuff up 10, 20 games later. And you were like, what do you mean that was a thing?
Again, I think they're throwing darts at a wall. And it's just like, do something new or something we've already done, make it more important than it was.
Could be.
It's like they're throwing darts at a wall, but half of the wall is like the most dark thing imaginable.
It's like, what have we had in some games, but not others, that we can make feel more important than it should be? Butterflies! Fucking butterflies!
It's like you throw a dart and it lands on one side. It's like a cute little fairy, or it's like this is a frog. This is
the dart stabbed the butterfly in mid-flight and then hit the fairy. And then everybody in the room went, oh.
But it's a fucking trip, right?
Yeah.
I promised you a deep dive into a wiki. I'm sorry for shotgunning it out so much.
Wow.
But yeah.
Well, I did say earlier I needed to come. Do you want to end the episode now, Tom?
Yeah. I mean,
Do you have more questions?
I'm really not trying to kink shame here, but you're like,
Stop trying to come on your podcast.
I mean, this is like right after a butterfly getting impaled on a dart. Like,
Don't look up the episode of FNF where we read fan fiction about Kirby and Ribbon.
oh, I think
Ribbon
I know
is the
about.
cherub-esque flying fairy character.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It
it was not a fun story to read.
Yeah, I had someone read to me a Kirby / Ribbon a fan fiction in delighted monotone, and that was an experience.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So where do we go from here, guys?
I could tell you about the biological parasite that showed up in the latest game
All
called
right, I don't
Fectoforga.
want him going
Okay.
any further for anybody's sake.
I think that would be an appropriate way to end with you just teasing something
If used with a
yet
cute
again.
thing, it became the ultimate life form.
Wait, what?
The ultimate life form, Fecto-Elphus. It's right there. That was in the most recent game. You defeat it by hitting it with a truck.
What? Okay, that flashed on the screen for just a second. What was that?
That's the ultimate life form, Fecto-Elphus. Elphilus.
It looked like
Fecto
a
Elphilus?
gold-garbed angel with a stag beetle head.
Yeah.
Fecto Elphilus sounds like something you get in an unsanitary hospital.
Or a final boss from Kingdom Hearts.
I don't know, it sounds a little more medical to me. The Fecto part sounds more medical.
It sounds like something you can't get with a prescription.
But yeah,
Because
you
it's
legitimately
highly restricted, because it's dangerous to almost any mammal.
But yeah, Kirby defeats it by driving a truck into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Does it bleed?
No, it doesn't bleed.
Is that the episode title? Does it bleed?
Yeah, I think so.
So Tom, I hope the wiki Sift for you was worth the trip.
Yeah.
He's gonna need a little time to recover.
Yeah.
He's gonna contact you at like 2 a.m. Tell me the part about Fecto Elphilus again.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna contact him at 2 o'clock in the morning by calling him on OnWeCast and say, okay, we're doing an addendum to this episode. I need to know this.
He's gonna come back with a series of questions. By series, I mean like 7-part Ken Burns documentary.
But yeah, I held off on like one of my big red string theories. Which
Oh God, no, don't end an episode talking about what you didn't go over.
because the thing is, I'm only told you guys what is canonically true. I haven't told you about my
Okay.
theories because this is
I am
WikiSift,
not interested in your religion, Mike.
Okay.
Have you heard the
Okay,
word of
I
Kirby?
am kind of interested now. I want to hear some of this headcanon.
Okay, my theory. Because the big thing they say about Planet Popstar is like it's the center of light and good in the universe, right?
Yeah.
In the first game, Kirby shows up. Here's the thing. Okay, I gotta go back a step to explain this.
Okay.
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 let's hear the thing.
All right, and we'll end on that. Kirby Star allies, right? You remember how we saw Void, the boss Void, right? Which looks like Kirby. Its final, there is a way to fight it in its true form because it's okay. In Kirby, when something is called Soul, right?
Yeah.
Like Mark Soul or something like that, that is the undead version of it. Yes, there's necromancy in Kirby.
Okay.
But if you go through the boss rush mode, you don't fight Void's soul, you fight Void. Void is completely white, right?
Okay. That sounds like the opposite of Void, but okay.
It's completely, well, it's all color, right? It's white light.
Yeah.
In the original Kirby game on the box art, Kirby is not pink. Kirby is white.
Yeah.
I have a theory that Kirby showed up on Dreamland going like an angel out of the Bible going, "Be not afraid. What do you require?" And they just pointed him at DDD. And he became a good guy along the way. Because Kirby doesn't smile in the first game. He smiles in every other game, but he only smiles in the first game at the end of the game.
Oh, really? You're not going to attribute that to primitive art design and the fact that the Game Boy was not the most sophisticated thing to code?
No. In my head, he was like this weird cryptid that showed up on the planet and said, "Be not afraid. I seek. How will you require aid?" And they said, "Can you get our food back? It shall be done." And he went.
See, now I would have bought more so that
good.
he was a completely pure being, neither good nor evil, and then landed on Popstar and was imbued with goodness, which made him pink. I would have bought that way more than that.
That is what I'm saying. It's just when he first got there, he was just like, in my head, he was just this thing.
You thought that he was like the loudspeaker at elementary school?
Yeah.
DDD, come to the principal's office.
But yeah, that is, Stevo, what you said is exactly what I'm trying to imply.
Okay. That I got something different out of that then.
Yeah. He's also canonically only 8 inches tall.
That's it for today. Thank you to everyone for listening. Please review us in whatever you're listening to us on. It doesn't have to be a good review. Any review is fine. If you're not sure what to say, just say these people are a bunch of sad loser nerd monkeys.
Fuck you, I have fun.
I want to know which ones bleed.